guys, I figured it would be a good idea to go over what goes into the preparation when you have a catering event. So we have our catering luncheon on May 11th, and we're preparing the recipes and getting everything made and figuring out how much we need in our shopping list, etc. So I don't know how many this yields, and what we need to do is figure out how many portions we can get from this size. So this is our cabbage, and if you recall, we saw the videos and they talked about how to let the cabbage sit with the salt on it to get rid of those bitter juices, just like we do when we were preparing eggplant. Okay, so this has been sitting here for over an hour. Look at all that bitter, those are all the juices that have come out of the cabbage. So I did salt it this time. Sylvia's recipe doesn't call for that, but I wanted to do it and see what the difference is. So this is a recipe experiment. We're testing the recipe. I'm going to dump this in and get out all of those bitter juices and rinse it off a little bit. Okay, so this has been rinsed off and drained. And there's another reason why I want to do that this time. Okay, when the cabbage has been with the salt, you see how bendy it is now? If you don't do the salt part, the cabbage is really still firm, and the coleslaw, it never really gets soft. All right, which is fine if you're gonna serve it in a big bowl and eat it on a plate or at a picnic. That's fine, no problem. Except we're doing this for a catered take-away lunch. So I want to be able to put the coleslaw into this container. And if any of the large pieces of coleslaw aren't bendy, it's just going to stick out and not really be able to put it in there. I want the coleslaw soft and malleable. See, I can now squeeze this. That's how soft it's gotten. So that was another reason why I did this step. All right, so now I'm going to just mix it all together. And another thing we'll do is that we're going to weigh the whole thing, get the full weight, and then I'm going to put a portion into here, weigh it, and then I'll be able to determine how many portions of this I can get from our recipe, which is important because when we're making this on the day of, I don't want to run out and have to go to the store and buy more ingredients at the last minute, nor do I want to get so much that I have tons left over and nobody to give it to. I'm sure I'll find people to give it away, but still, you don't want to waste food, okay? So we're going to make the whole entire batch, and here are our raisins, our carrots, and our dressing, and we're going to just toss the whole thing. So this is our dressing already made up of mayonnaise, vinegar, sugar, mustard, and raisins, and I'm going to toss the whole thing. Okay, so here's our finished coleslaw, and now I've got my container here, and I'm going to portion it and see how much a container full will yield. All right, so three ounces. We'll fill this up and just make sure it's 3. Or, let me see. That's pretty full. All right, so we'll try to get exactly 3. All right, so that's good. And this is pretty full. All right, and then we'll get the lid on it. This is compact and it's on tight, so I don't have to worry about any of the juices spilling out of it. So that's that's a 3 ounce, the cup is I think it's a 5.5 ounce cup, but it only gets 3 ounces of coleslaw in it. Okay, so 3 ounces of coleslaw per container. We need 24 of these containers, so 24 times 3 would be 70. Sorry, I can't do math in my head. 72 ounces, okay? So we need 72 ounces altogether of the coleslaw in order to get 24 portions, okay? Okay, so this is nice and tightly wrapped because I was eating it. I have to stop eating. It was really good. So what I would need to do, though, is I'm going to put it in the refrigerator, and I'm going to taste it a little bit every single day, and I'm going to see how long this is good in the refrigerator for, because we do want to be able to prepare it ahead of time. The lunch order needs to be done by 11 a.m. and I'm going to be making all of those banana puddings, so there's not enough time to make this the morning of. So I need to know, though, how far in advance I can make this and how long it's good for. So is it 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days? I mean, this is the type of recipe testing you have to do when you're creating a business. You need to know how long you can make something ahead of time and it still tastes very good. So I'm going to put that in the refrigerator. Then I weighed this, and the recipe that I made yielded 39 ounces, and we need 72 ounces for our catering event. So I would need to do a double batch. 39 times 2 is 78, and that would yield me enough with a little tiny bit left over, okay? So for this recipe, we would need to do a double batch to make sure that we have enough for our event. So this is how you figure out what you need, okay? And also I've got to make sure I order those 24 plastic 5.5 ounce portion cups to make sure we have something for them to go into. So there is a lot of preparation that goes involved in catering an event.